Hi, my name is Kattein. I'm going to talk about accommodating change. Today, urbanism is obsessed with eradicating the unknown and planning for the eventual. We're all guilty of it: architects, planners, policymakers, investors, developers, and clients. It profoundly affects everything we do and the shape and form of the spaces that we design, smothering all acts of spontaneity, improvisation, impulse, and impromptu creativity. Budget risks, market risks, safety risk, planning risks, program risks, procurement risk, maintenance risks. We have a whole arsenal of weapons at our disposal to mitigate uncertainty. Outputs, deliverables, performance indicators, framework contracts, precedent studies, risk registers, warranties, approved details, quantitative risk analysis, insurance, to name but a few. Those in business emphasize the level of risk inherent to a project. The ability to manage risk asserts a team member's authority. Insurers use formulas to calculate the likelihood of an insured event and set premiums accordingly. Developers calculate their profit margins based on the likelihood of a project achieving predicted outcomes or not. Interest rates on loans are affected by the level of perceived risks. Local government is concerned about political risk. The ability to accept risk and successfully mitigate it has significant economic value. Risk describes a scenario by which a project outcome departs from predictions, where we find that reality is actually different from what we thought it was, or simply put, where things have changed. Change is inherent to life in the metropolis, and our success as a society will ultimately be measured by our ability to drive change, not by preventing it. What better place than public space to accommodate the unforeseen, host the unexpected, and promote the unpredictable? Embracing public spaces as a malleable entity will give opportunity to discover the unknown, harbour the potential for innovation, the delight at gaining a greater understanding of learning, revelation, even inspiration or vision together. In their study, Making Space in Dalston, MUF distinguished between release spaces and host spaces. Release spaces are the spaces that create linkages in the urban fabric, associating diverse uses and creating relationships between citizens. Host spaces are about facilitating the visual arts, film, and performance to be part of the public realm. And public space includes interior spaces like empty shops, libraries, and community centres. Significantly, MUF's study recognizes the value of the informal, recognizing the inherent creative potential of the ad hoc and of improvisation. Supporting creativity is not about public art commissions, and retrofitting as opposed to rebuilding is recommended as a means to drive change. Less rather than more, but less over a longer period of time with greater effect. Nabil Hamdi's book Small Change, about the art of practice and the limits of planning in cities, closely links the success of public spaces also with economic activities, recognizing that entrepreneurship and industry is intrinsically linked to education and well-being of communities and can have profoundly positive impact on the quality of public space. The cover synopsis of the book reads, "This book is an argument for the wisdom of the street, the ingenuity of the improvisers, and the long-term, large-scale effectiveness of immediate small-scale actions." MUF and Hamdi's approach have a significant impact on the role of architects, planners, local and regional authorities. Planning should encourage risk rather than seeking to eliminate it. Chilean architect Aravena's concept of the do tank, as opposed to the think tank, puts small-scale actions before planning. Maybe maintenance and upkeep are desirable qualities of our urban realm, allowing communities to become involved and engaged with the public spaces they inhabit. Maybe a project's success should not be measured by meeting KPIs, but by divergence from them. Maybe local government should be rewarded for taking risk rather than eliminating it. Maybe architects and planners should be paid from revenue budgets rather than capital budgets. Maybe professional fees for public space improvements should be paid based on the number of actions rather than the level of capital expenditure. Maybe contingency funds should be greater than project funds. Maybe we should all accept that the city is an ongoing project which will never reach practical completion, allowing public space to accommodate the changing needs of citizens. Public space in London needs to accommodate change, to embrace the ad hoc, the spell of the moment, and acts of impulsive creativity. It needs to accommodate change, to adapt to the changing needs of citizens, and it needs to accommodate change to allow communities to become active participants in the making of their city. That slide shows all of the same space in Dalston, Gillette Square. Thank you.